indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Get the answer you wanted? Did you get the answer you wanted? That's called lobbying. That is just lobbying.
We're sending
This is the Preble Town Board meeting of June 10th, 2024. Are there any additions, deletions, or corrections to the minutes from May?
Make a motion to accept the minutes for May.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Carried. Jen?
Dog control, 2 strays were picked up and returned to their owner. Justice report fees collected in May, $6,296.
Thanks, Jen. Highway report, Jeff?
Things that we need to address. I was talking with Don earlier. The Barton with Judas, a continuation of the contract for East Hill slope failure. We've been awarded the money for that, and that's figured in with that. Money is $600 and some thousand. I guess I asked, for Don's suggestion that you approved continuation of the East Hill project, so we can hopefully get this thing to fruition. Also, I was just at highway school last week, and DOT is looking at changing the CHIPS guidance. That don't really affect us very much at all, but they are looking to allow for a 5-year chip seal if you can rate the road at a 7 out of 10 using the APWA standard, which basically you're not just throwing a chip seal on a crap road. They'll let you do it after, because the chip seal isn't good for 10 years, but they don't, because of the bonding, they'll only let you use that particular road name every 10 years. So it's something, I think it'll help a lot of very small towns, at least keep their roads from, going too bad. There was some good discussion at highway school, and one of them, they brought in a gentleman from Indiana, and their LTAP center, the same as our Cornell, and alternate fuels. And out in Indiana, it was interesting to hear that electric wasn't even on the board. They don't have anywhere near enough electric grid out that way to do that. The biggest thing they've done is they've switched most of their fleets. Muncie, Indiana is 100% compressed natural gas, and that eliminates the headaches of the after treatment of diesels, and it's considerably cleaner. Getting a lot of the fleets to cleaner is a lot better than some dirty and some ultra clean. So they've been very happy with it, and the price is a lot less too. The other few other things, the roof on is leaking again in the ladies' room. It was repaired a couple of years ago. We're gonna have to make some decisions on what to do with that. And then send everybody a picture of our airplane down in the park. And anybody have some suggestions what you may want to do with that or not, or toss it, try to fix it? I don't know, but it's something we need to address. The little toy down at the park that's, I think some larger kids probably jumped on it and broke it. So, any questions for me?
Well, maybe we can call Mike at Homer Iron Works and ask him how much it'd be to send a guy down and look at it and weld it,
Yeah, that's fine. I just didn't know if anybody had suggestions. That's not my specialty. Sadly, they don't make stuff like they used to.
Mm-hmm.
So I can do that and see if they even think it's worth doing.
Yeah.
I think the only way to really fix it for longevity would be if there's a sleeve available to put over that piece that's broken.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't think you can be like welding tinfoil. Okay, I'll do that.
Okay.
So then just the other P&L thing.
Yeah, probably take some action on the first item that Jeff mentioned, as far as authorizing the continuation of the agreement with Barton and Judas. and the funding for it.
Yeah, somebody can say so move. Make a motion.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Carried. All right, so we'll go ahead with that, Jeff. Is that it for, that we have to do? Okay. Okay, recreation. Dave, anything?
Grass is growing.
Grass is growing, yeah. People are showing up on the weekends for events, right,
Yeah,
at the pavilion.
I put some new lights in the pavilions to make it a little brighter in here,
Mm-hmm.
the
Mm-hmm.
main part.
Okay,
Still, it's a little dim in the kitchen, but
yeah. But it's being used, people are using it, so that's good. Okay, county legislator, Kevin?
So I'm just gonna give you what's up on the June agendas for this month. So building and grounds, so we put out for bid, 111 Port Watson for the new mental health building, for the, internal, construction. So those are gonna be opened up here Wednesday and will be, awarded at session on the 27th. That's a big feat right there. I mean, it's actually not going to move forward. So the building's already gutted. So we got as far as we could go, but now we're looking at having this awarded, and then probably the end of 2025, the whole mental health will be relocated. And they've gained considerable, almost double capacity of what they are currently having. So it's gonna really be beneficial. Also for building and grounds is Dwyer Park. So we are replacing the pavilion elevator. It's not in there right now because they needed to pull the elevator in order to do the proper measurements so that they could order the parts to get them in. So once those are ordered, once they get here, it'll be about 8 days from the time that it's installed, calibrated, and then inspected for occupancy. We are doing the renovations to the men and women's bathroom at the pavilion. It just takes a little bit to get things all going and having the money there and all that stuff. So that will be done this year. And we're formally scheduling kind of like daily cleaning. We've had complaints about the cleaning, the bathrooms and stuff like that. So one of the problems that we have with the county is departments. So highway department handles the outside of the building, you know, and the park itself, and building and grounds does the maintenance on the inside. So we're trying to kind of form this up officially to get that taken care of. Highway. So in highway, it's coming through that we're amending the county's flow control law to kind of tweak up some of the clarification and kind of like housekeeping. I mean, there were some issues that they had in there. One of them was what's out of county waste, believe it or not, is what's out of county generated waste. It really wasn't very clear there, but that's now getting tweaked up. They're also doing the approval for the 2024 Air Fest at the county, so that is happening this year. And then they're going to be talking about the county landfill's future. Currently, we have roughly about maybe 12 years to that landfill using its current cells that they have. We do have 200 acres there. But we're just trying to now figure out the cost benefits. You know, do we spend 7 million to have a new cell built? Do we ship our stuff out? There's just a lot of things to take a look at, looking at the cost for that. So that's what we're looking at. And you're looking at right around 8 years if we're gonna do a new cell to get that through and approval through DEC and everything. So it's not a easy task to do that. And you never know, DEC could say, no, you never know. But we have to have a place for our garbage to go. So that's doing it. And then, does anybody ever go to the county for their household hazardous waste to get rid of it? I mean, it's free.
Down by the railroad tracks, I've got stuff up there.
Yeah, but now you can take your household stuff that's like under your kitchen sink that's like, we don't want to pour it down the drain, right? Yeah. Well, anyway, what they're doing is they're awarding the contract for the vendor for doing that. So people read the newspaper, what it is a newspaper. So the county legislature will not be holding committee meetings or a session in July. So they're like, oh, brother, you know, you guys are taking time off and all that stuff. But for July, we're going to be doing the sales tax negotiations with the city. So we have working groups for that. We still meet looking at the homeless in Portland. So we're still looking at those options that we have. We do have July 4th celebration here at Dwyer Park. And June Dairy Month. Awesome. Yeah, so I went to Trinity Valley to do the proclamation for that one. But what we're also doing in July with Budget and Finance is we're getting ready for the 2025 budget. This has usually happened right now. Last July, we did not meet for our statutory committees as well. And what that is, it allowed the department heads to really look at their budgets. It's right in the middle of the year, seeing where they are, and then they're also starting to prepare. Usually this is right around September, but we feel that it's time for us to kind of start looking and starting the process earlier. So that's what July is for. I will be bringing our state reps through the county. One is Dwyer Park, because as we say, lobbying, anywhere that I can get money from those people, I'm going to get it. And the park is one of them. We had a child get hurt on the playground equipment. It was a freak thing. They got their hand in where it wasn't supposed to be. But what it ended up being for us was a concern. So we do have funding, and we're now getting bids for a new playground. We have a new safety person in the county, and they are now going around to all of our facilities, taking a look at these type of issues of liability. And they are now in the county attorney's office, so they're overseeing this person. So if you think of anything, if you ever want the reps to come here, I'm more than happy to put them on anything, whatever you want to do. I'm more than happy to do that. Fire department, right? If there's anything you want them to take a look at, or you want to talk to them about it, more than happy to do that part. Does anybody have any questions? Yes.
How much money are we paying for rent for the mental health where it is now?
Right around 112,000 a year.
Mark back in our pocket.
Yeah.
And when is the fireworks down here, the date?
Honestly, I don't have that date.
Don't know if it's a Friday or Saturday.
Oh,
Well,
it's gonna be a Saturday, it's not gonna be a Friday.
Yeah, the fourth is on Thursday.
Yeah.
Friday's the fifth, Saturday's the sixth.
Yeah, so it will be on the weekend.
On Saturday night.
Yeah, it won't be during the week.
Right. That new mental health building, how many stories is that?
Two,
Two stories.
with a full basement.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that's totally paid for,
Mm-hmm.
by, the federal, funds and state funds.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Anybody else have questions for Kevin?
Well, we're gonna pay for is remodeling.
Nope.
Or you're gonna get more grants.
Of the mental health building? Oh, it's all done. We have, right around 8 million that we received. Mr. Schumer, provided us some, the state provided us, some as well. And we used our, 2 million of our ARP funding, again, that the federal government gave us.
Well, it's not costing the taxpayers money. Well, indirectly it is.
Well, yeah, that's why we try to get as much grant funding as we can. There is, I will be given the state of the county address for this and this year at session. And it will be kind of like an eye opener for the public. What we're doing is we're focusing on the budget as a whole. And we're taking letting people take a look at the mandates that we have, the discretionary that we have, which isn't much, how much grant funding we do have for operation, and then where does the taxpayer dollars go? And you'll kind of have like this big picture of the state of New York pretty much handles 90% of our funding, our county budget, which we have no discretion over for that. So,
Okay.
okay.
Anything else for Kevin?
This Friday at 10 o'clock. County office building.
Which part?
County office building down on Central Ave. You're on the list.
What's Friday?
This Friday or next Friday.
Yeah, but what is it?
Something to do with health. Senior
Oh.
citizens.
Yeah. I don't have my calendar with me. Yeah. Yeah, I gotta give another little speech. Yeah. You gonna be there?
I don't know.
Well, if you're not, I won't. Pressure's on you now. All right, thanks.
All right. Thanks, Kevin. Jen?
Zoning and code enforcement may report 2 building permits issued, 78 miles traveled, 11 building inspections, 28 hours worked, 2 fire inspections, 9 complaint follow-ups, and 37 telephone inquiries. The next planning board meeting is June 26th at 7 p.m. The next ZBA meeting is July 11th at 7 p.m. Historian, no report. Town clerk fees collected in May, $1,039. Dispersed $1,026 to the town of Preble and $13 to New York State Ag Market.
Thanks, Jim. Going to unfinished business. The first item is the ethics committee. We have 2 people for the ethics committee. One being Carl Grillo, who was on it previously, and he resides on Song Lake. The other ethics committee person would be the supervisor, and so we're looking for somebody else. We've have had several people come forward with applications to fill in that 3rd spot, but they're all from the lakes. And so we would really rather have, the town board talked about this last week, that we would like to have somebody who's a non-lake person representing the ethics committee. So we would have one lake person, one non-lake person, and the supervisor. So we're still waiting for somebody from that demographic to step forward. Any questions with the board?
No.
Okay,
How long term is it?
5 years. You interested?
I do it.
You would do it?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll talk to you after the meeting. Okay, so next item, review letter and questionnaire for short-term rentals. So we have this letter, which was a draft that Don made up, dear property owners and residents. We all read through this and we have to revise it a little bit. And then we have the questionnaire. Does anybody have any questions about the questionnaire or the
No.
letter?
On the letter, just gotta include the address.
We would do this on letterhead
Okay.
paper.
Okay.
Yep.
And then, you know, that, I guess I wouldn't remove a copy of this moratorium isn't closed. I'd just say a copy of this moratorium is available on the website or through the town clerk.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Any other revisions?
On the, I think I sent that to you on the,
Questionnaire?
page 2 there, D there, where is it? Approximate date when, use was established. And, I put in there, maybe we should add and started advertising because that's what our moratorium asks for.
Okay.
Advertising on Airbnb or VRBO. And then down here on 5, whereas revised zoning ordinance / regulations to address rental property uses.
Okay. Anybody else have anything? Okay, Don, are you gonna make these revisions on this? Okay.
Sure. Then
Okay.
I'll send them to you to,
You can send them to Jen and to me.
okay.
Mm-hmm. And then Jen and I will develop some kind of strategy on mailing these. We probably want a return envelope included, so people can return these. Return the questionnaire. Or maybe we could have provision for emailing. Well, they would have to fill out answer all these questions.
Yeah.
So we'll put a return envelope in
I
there.
better have a hard copy.
Yeah. So Jen and I will work on that as soon as that's available. Any other questions on this topic? Okay. Monies received. We received from USPS $779. Northeast Transformers $1,771.89. Portland County mortgage tax $9,210.99. Portland County first quarter sales tax $145,160.67. And at this time, we need to pay the general fund vouchers. Need a motion for general fund vouchers.
I'll make a motion to pay general fund vouchers, asterisks number 101 through 127, totaling $11,264.67.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Carried. Need a motion to pay the highway fund vouchers.
I'll make a motion to pay the highway fund vouchers, abstract number 6, numbers 54 to 71, totaling $18,887.78.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Carried. And at this time, I'd like to open up the meeting for public comment, questions to the board, or comments that you might have.
Your county sales tax first quarter, how's that
I can't tell you that off the top of my head.
It should be up like 0.4%.
Okay.
It's kind of flattening out right now.
We had a rise last year, Kevin, didn't we?
Yep. Yeah.
So that rise last year created carryover for us for this year in our budget. And it looks like we're gonna be, if things continue, they'll be flat this year. Any other questions or comments?
I do here just this second.
Mhm.
So do you recall, Jeepers, back, I think I was supervisor at that point. Homer, Preble, and Scott joined together about the ag protection. Do you recall that?
Well, I remember the farmland protection, that went on for quite a long time before that was finalized in Preble. And that had to be 14 or 15 years ago.
Yeah, my question is, was that factored into your comprehensive plan? Do you recall? It's like 199 pages. And the only reason why I ask that is solely because it is on our website. And it started talking really about, it's 100 million. But I know that when we're looking at these rentals and this whole thing that we all went to, I just didn't know if that was a document that was reviewed just to see what was in there. I mean, it's been a while, but it is pretty in depth. So I just didn't know if that is something that the municipality should still be looking at. If not, I mean, I wish
So it's on the Scott website, Kevin?
no, it's on the county website under planning department. And I just noticed that the other day. Let me see.
I have a copy of it, but it's not a hundred
Do you?
pages. But it's not a hundred pages, yeah, I have a copy.
Yeah, so I was just curious. Just trying to find it. I should have been better prepared for it. But anyway, I just didn't know if maybe you would want to take a look at that or not. I mean,
Sure. But I don't think we
We
went
didn't
into
use
that in any depth or made
No.
much reference to it on the comprehensive planning work that
okay.
that either
I mean,
board did.
I'm just like getting stuff back when I was supervisor that I thought is once that was created and everything, then we had to go back, look at the comprehensive plan and zoning. And I can guarantee you, Tom Scott probably never did. But yeah, I can't find it. But anyway, it's there.
Okay.
It's like 199 pages. And it
Mine's not that
did
long.
talk about the town of Homer, town of Preble, and the town of Scott did it jointly there. So that's all. I just wanted to see if it was something that we should be looking at.
I don't recall, was it the county planning that put most of that together, Kevin?
They did, and then we had an outside planner, I do believe. That looked at it. It was a consulting firm.
Okay.
So that was all.
Okay. Does anybody else have anything that they want to bring up? Tony?
Yeah, could, under unfinished business, could you Will someone just briefly explain the review letter and the questionnaire of the short-term?
Sure.
rentals?
When we were, over the past months, when we were talking about short-term rentals, we thought that it might be a good idea, because not everybody knows what's going on here. And so it might be a good idea to send a letter and a questionnaire to all the residents in the town, anybody who's a property owner, anyway, on the records, and just explain to them that we have a moratorium right now going on with short-term rentals, and that we need some input from the residents to move forward, because we're working on the zoning code right now, and we're studying this topic. So that's why we're working on this letter and questionnaire, and we're gonna mail this out to everybody. So anybody would have the opportunity to write an opinion, send it back in.
Okay. I have one more question. Is it possible to find out, under the zoning code enforcement officer's report, 2 building permits, what they were for?
I don't have that in front of me. Jen, do you have?
Yeah, we have a notebook of what building permits have been given.
I think you'd have to submit a FOIL request.
That's right.
I would,
I think so. It's public record, but to provide it, I think you need to submit a FOIL.
Which you could just email Jen if you want to. Just email her as a FOIL request, and then you can get together with Jen and she could show you the building permits.
okay.
Okay.
Yep.
Anything else? Okay, if there's no other further public comments or questions, we do not have executive session tonight, so we need a motion to adjourn.
I make a motion to adjourn. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Carried. Meeting adjourned.
And if you guys wanted to change anything else to that, I
I
mean,
thought we were gonna discuss
if you wanted, if you guys want to add something more. Oh, on that, you're talking about, that's
You
a short
can,
term, right?
yep, just
Yeah.
email, you have my email? Let me write it down for you, this email needs a reply, that's what you wanna do, so we get it in writing.
Did this,
Then,
was this draft written
set
after?
up a time before you-
Yeah.
Okay, so it
Yeah, this was
addressed,
John's,
it addressed those questions that were brought up.
yeah, from their other attorney.
Oh, I didn't have those in particular in mind, but it was done after his comments, sure, and we had looked at that. But it's just I'm not suggesting that answers everything. It's a starting point for you all to react to. So don't be afraid to criticize, try and improve it.
Because it one of the things was, warrantless inspection.
And that's in there.
But they do that, building, when they're going to inspect your building,
Right, and right.
And I had a taxpayer ask me how it says allowed two people per bedroom, but then it can be 12 people.
And so this term.
So how can you have 12 people, say if it's a 2-bedroom, 12 people in
We're looking
a place
at
that
Jim,
only got
let's
2
ask
bedrooms?
him while you're here.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's the question.
that's
for
gonna
him.
be
I
it.
don't know what
So you got 4 there, and you have a small couch or something, so you got 4 people there, so.
Yeah, real nice
That's what they're doing about a lot of people.
I would be under the supervisor.
It's nice to know, some of the county still cares.
So, yeah, and I talked to Jim about at some point we ought to make this available or do whatever, revise revisions you want made, make them available to the public. Here you go, guys. Here's a draft. Have at it. Have at it. Have at it.
I'm sure it was there before. Yeah, retired.
Well, then, of course, the planning board is gonna take this and put it in the zoning law. So you're really not gonna act on this till they get the whole zoning law to you. That's the plan. Because this is just gonna be chapter 13 of your comprehensive zoning law. And they're trying to get through that. They're about at the wind and solar. So they're at about chapter 10 or something like that now. Yeah. But, I mean, you could go ahead and work on that too. I mean, ultimately, it's, as we've talked about, right? Ultimately, this is you guys. You're the ones that are gonna.
Yeah, I haven't. Yeah, right, yeah, based upon the other attorney's report. Then there's the noise.
Okay.
Ordinance.
And the only reason why I was saying this is because it's in the table of contents. You know, it did talk about zoning and all that, so.
Did they have a year on that, Kevin? It's not a big deal.
No,
Okay.
she has it on her, under useful documents.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mine isn't 110 pages, but I do have it. If you want me to bring it to your office, I will.
Oh.
Use that one instead. Okay.
Kevin, I was gonna ask, how are you guys gonna start studying this? Yeah, it's like a big, it's like a gorilla.
Yeah, I know. It's much.
Probably looking at, you know, because we do contract with, you know.
Right, so that's what I was thinking, you hire a.
Who was in there and they were making a noise.
I mean, what do other towns, right, our size, are they still going with the landfill idea?
One of the problems that they're worried about is that, you know, we're $90 a ton. We contract out, ship it out, all that stuff.
Put it in a database.
Go to a place, we're, you know, other than a contract, we're subject to whatever fees or restrictions they are gonna put on us. So
you're saying we lose control. We're subject to, I mean, Ithaca's done it, or Tompkins County's done that, right?
Well, yeah, and they're gonna get in trouble with it.
Are they?
Well, they're going up to Seneca Meadows, and I don't think that they're gonna get, I heard the governor's office is trying to step in. I think that's the second biggest landfill in New York. But
I hope there's not too many, much bigger than that.
yeah, but you know, they don't know if they're, yeah, go ahead.
I attached them in one. I stapled them together. Yeah, I just write them on there separately so they know.
It's really weird. I couldn't find it. Does it call the title to it?
Yeah, so yeah, I got them and I put them
It's
in.
just that it's on as a local law. You don't have to.
Yeah, I think this is gonna even put all the who owns what.
I'll look at it. I'm lazy. I'll search it. If I can't find it, I'll ask you next month. All right, thank you.
Yeah, so, you know, if the legislature
How are we going to
put
track
in a
all that
resolution
information?
to supporting,
And Rick doesn't have a computer.
renewing
to
their
put it in.
permit.
And why don't we buy him a
The
computer?
Tompkins
The
County.
one we bought.
And then,
okay.
Yeah, and then Mike Ziegler, one of the legislators, is like, well, wait a minute, why are you
Our
doing
code
that?
guy doesn't
That's
really
when we
have
take
a
our
computer.
trash. Do you have an alternative?
Yeah,
The
And
judge
they don't,
complained
there is no
about
alternative. What they feel is that this is a
We
way
gotta
to
have tools
push
for these people.
on
We gotta spend some money.
compost.
Very expensive.
All this
No,
stuff is
no.
really
Do we
what
have
they're
a,
pushing.
Recycling,
IT firm
composting.
Yeah,
we have to do our
Oh, yeah.
computers or?
You know,
Well, we have.
the thing is with,
Yeah.
you know, with Cortland County's landfill,
Okay, yeah.
you look and say,
Well, they can
okay,
probably
Try to find
quote
a
what
us.
was
way
the
out of
purpose
there.
of that landfill?
Yeah.
And it really was.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
that's a good idea.
It really wasn't much more than
Well,
that.
well,
And-
yeah, but that's, you're not loading in, you gotta have the right.
Now you
uh,
take a look at it, we're
software in
required by law to have
Your database
a
and stuff
place
like
for
that.
that to go.
So there's things set up
It's
with
just now
different
we're trying to figure,
towns.
can we
Like
control
Plan
our
First
own
does it down
costs
there,
by-
they buy computers.
Yeah,
That
Rick would have
I
to
don't know.
know, have the
really-
program,
That's
Right.
what.
and then load it into, you can load it into.
No, I
know,
know,
supposed
but that's,
to be
that to me
looking
They,
is
at-
safety.
computer people would
Supposed to
wanna
be
know
looking
what
at a
he
legislator.
wants.
Thank
what
you.
he
Local
wants to
Have
put
a
in
good night.
there.
You know, we don't have much,
Track.
but,
Then they
you know,
build, make sure that it
understand
has enough
everything.
gigabytes and,
But
Right.
now we're just really looking.
is it Plan First?
You know,
Oh,
what's the
okay.
cost?
They're
So-
on,
Yeah, they're right on Main
You're
Street,
looking
up
at-
in the McNeil building.
Yeah,
Plan
you
I
can
First.
think
scare
you're
yourself in a
going
hurry,
there, are
can't you?
No?
Yeah.
Yes?
You know, they're like, well, we can just build a bigger cell. And and we can keep it longer, you know, that cell. And then they're like, well, yeah, but the bigger you are, the bigger the cap's gotta be.
Right.
And and I mean, right now, we are right around almost a 40-minute wait time.